I stood in that hotel security office staring at a screen. My wife of 43 years. In the arms of my son-in-law. The hotel manager, Raymond, stood beside me. His face said it all. He didn't want to show me this, but I had a right to know. My hands shook, not from age, from rage so deep it felt like my chest might crack open. But here's the thing nobody tells you about betrayal. The worst part isn't what you see. It's what comes after you start digging. Because what I found made that affair look like child's play. Before we continue, please tell us where you're watching from so we know how far our stories reach, and subscribe to the channel to help us grow. Let me take you back 6 months. Back when I still believed my life was blessed. My name is Lawrence Jackson, 71 years old. Retired from the construction business I built with these two hands. Started with nothing but a pickup truck and a toolbox back in 1978. Turned it into Jackson Construction Company. We built half the commercial buildings in Atlanta. Churches, community centers, shopping plazas. By the time I sold the business 5 years ago, I had more money than I knew what to do with. Beverly and I met at Greater Hope Baptist Church in 1982. She sang in the choir, voice like an angel. I was sitting in the third pew when she hit that high note during His Eye is on the Sparrow. I knew right then I was going to marry that woman. We got married 6 months later. Had our daughter Monique a year after that. 43 years. That's a lifetime. Sunday dinners after church, family reunions every July where Beverly would make her famous peach cobbler. Watching Monique grow up, walking her down the aisle when she married Andre 12 years ago. I thought Andre was a good man, worked in finance, treated my daughter right. Or so I thought. I had everything a man could want. A beautiful home in Cascade Heights, investments that kept growing, a daughter who called me every Sunday, a wife who still held my hand during church service. I thanked God every single day for my blessings. Then my phone rang on a Tuesday afternoon in June. "Mr. Jackson?" The voice was hesitant, professional. "This is Raymond Pierce. I'm the general manager at the Piedmont Grand Hotel." "Yes?" I didn't know why a hotel manager was calling me. "Sir, I need to speak with you about a sensitive matter. Can you come to my office today?" Something in his tone made my stomach drop. "What's this about?" Raymond was quiet for a moment. "It's about your wife, sir. I think it's better we talk in person." I drove to that hotel with my mind racing. Had Beverly been in an accident? Was she sick? Did something happen to Monique? The Piedmont Grand was a nice place downtown. 5 stars. Not the kind of place you go unless you have money to spend. Raymond met me in the lobby. Young brother, maybe 55. Kind eyes. The kind of eyes that had seen too much of people's ugly business. He led me to his office without a word. "Mr. Jackson," he said once we sat down, "I've been in this business 20 years. This is the hardest part of my job. Just tell me. Your wife checked in yesterday with another man." The words hit me like a hammer. I just sat there, frozen. "I recognized her from the name on the credit card," Raymond continued. "Jackson isn't a common name for our regulars. Then I remembered you from the Community Business Association meetings. I've seen photos of you and your wife together at fundraisers." "You're sure it was her?" Raymond pulled up something on his computer, turned the screen toward me, security footage from the lobby. There was Beverly, clear as day, laughing, holding hands with a man, my son-in-law, Andre. "I'm so sorry, sir," Raymond said softly. "They've been coming here every Tuesday for the past 3 months. 3 months? While I was home thinking my wife was at her book club, while I was playing dominoes with my brother Leon on Tuesday nights, while I was living my life like a fool. But that wasn't even the worst part. "There's something else," Raymond said. His face got darker, more serious. "They had drinks in the hotel bar yesterday. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but they were talking loud, celebrating something." "Celebrating what?" Raymond pulled out a small notepad. I wrote down what I heard. They were talking about paperwork, something about getting your signature on documents, something about a care facility, and they mentioned a lawyer named Vincent Hayes. My blood went cold. Vincent Hayes was a lawyer I'd met at a charity event 2 months ago. Beverly had invited him to dinner at our house, said he was helping her with some estate planning, updating our wills, making sure everything was in order for Monique. I'd signed some papers he brought over. Didn't think twice about it. Trusted my wife. "They said something about it being almost done," Raymond continued. "About you not knowing what hit you. About splitting everything once you were out of the way." I sat there trying to process this. My wife wasn't just having an affair. She was planning something. Something that involved lawyers and paperwork and me being out of the way. Mr. Jackson, I don't know what they're planning, but it didn't sound good. That's why I called you. I thanked Raymond, shook his hand, walked out of that hotel like a man in a dream. But inside, my mind was already working, already planning. I didn't go home. I drove to my brother Leon's house. Leon is 5 years younger than me, still works as a mechanic, sharp as they come. When I told him everything, his face went hard. Law, you know what this sounds like? Leon said. Sounds like they're trying to take everything from you. But how? We're married. Community property. Unless they're planning to say you're not competent, dementia, Alzheimer's, get you declared mentally unfit, then they can put you in a home and take control of everything. My hands clenched into fists. That's why Beverly kept insisting I go to that new doctor. Dr. Phillips said it was just a regular checkup, but he kept asking me weird questions about what year it is, who the president is, making me remember lists of words. They're building a case, Leon said, setting up a paper trail to say you're losing your mind. I thought about all those documents I'd signed. Papers Vincent Hayes said were just standard estate planning. What if they weren't? What if I'd signed away my rights without knowing it? What are you going to do? Leon asked. I looked at my brother, felt something cold settle into my chest, something hard and sharp. I'm going to play along, I said. I'm going to act like I don't know a thing, and I'm going to build my own case. Leon nodded slowly. You're going to need help. I know. The next morning I called Gloria Robinson. She'd been my lawyer for 15 years, handled the sale of my business, helped me set up my investments. I trusted her with my life. When I told her everything, she was quiet for a long minute. Lawrence, she finally said, this is serious. If they're forging documents, that's fraud, conspiracy. If they're planning to have you declared incompetent falsely, that's elder abuse. Can we prove it? We can try, but you need to be careful. If they suspect you know, they might accelerate their plans. So what do? You do exactly what you said. Play along. Act normal at home. Don't let Beverly or Andre know anything is wrong. Meanwhile, we gather evidence. I'll hire a private investigator, someone discreet. We'll get copies of every document you signed. We'll record conversations if we can. We'll build an ironclad case. How long will that take? However long it takes to do it right. Lawrence, if we move too fast, they'll lawyer up and we might not get them. We need to catch them in the act. I agreed, hung up the phone, went home to my wife like nothing had happened. Beverly was in the kitchen making dinner, greens and cornbread. The smell that used to make me feel loved now made me sick. Hey, baby, she said, smiling at me. How was your day? I looked at this woman I'd loved for 43 years, this woman who sang in the church choir every Sunday, this woman who was planning to destroy me. It was good, I said, kissed her cheek. Real good. She had no idea that I knew, no idea what was coming. That night, I lay in bed next to her, listened to her breathing, and I started planning every move. Because they wanted to take everything from me, my money, my freedom, my dignity. But Lawrence Jackson didn't build a business from nothing by being stupid, and I wasn't about to let these snakes win. Gloria called me 2 days later. I found someone, Curtis Brown, former police detective, does private investigation now. He's the best. Curtis and I met at a coffee shop in Buckhead, older brother with gray in his beard, sharp eyes that missed nothing. Mr. Jackson, he said, Ms. Robinson told me your situation. I'm going to be straight with you. This kind of case, we need hard evidence. Video, audio, documents. The works. Whatever it takes. I'll need to follow your wife and Andre, get photos, record their conversations if possible. Georgia is a one-party consent state, so if you're part of any conversation, we can record it legally. We'll also need to get those documents analyzed, find out exactly what you signed. Do it. Over the next month, Curtis worked. He followed Beverly every Tuesday, got photos of her and Andre checking into that hotel, got photos of them meeting with Vincent Hayes at a restaurant, got photos of documents being exchanged. But that still wasn't enough. We need the smoking gun, Gloria told me. We need proof of what they're actually planning. Documents aren't enough if they're forgeries. We need them to admit it. So we set a trap. I told Beverly I wanted to update my will again. Said I'd been thinking about setting up a trust for Monique, for our grandkids. Beverly's eyes lit up. That's a wonderful idea, baby, she said. Why don't I call Vincent? He can help us with that. Perfect. Vincent came to our house that Saturday. Beverly made lunch. We all sat in the dining room like one big happy family. I had my phone in my pocket, recording everything. So Lawrence, Vincent said, Beverly tells me you want to set up a trust. That's right. Want to make sure Monique and the grandkids are taken care of. Vincent nodded, pulled out papers, started explaining things in that lawyer voice. Most of it was real. But then he slipped in something else. Now, this section here, he said casually, this gives Beverly power of attorney over your medical decisions. Standard stuff for married couples your age. I pretended to read it. Why would we need that? Beverly put her hand on mine. Baby, we're getting older. God forbid something happens. I need to be able to make decisions for you, like if you get sick and can't think clearly. There it was. Setting it up, making it sound normal. Makes sense, I said. Signed the paper. Vincent smiled. Excellent. This will all be finalized next week. After he left, I sent the recording to Gloria. She called me an hour later. Her voice was tight. Lawrence, that power of attorney form is dangerous. Combined with medical records saying you're declining mentally, Beverly could have you committed. And if you're committed, she controls everything. So we have them. Not quite. This could still be explained away as legitimate planning. We need more. We need proof they're forging your medical records or lying about your mental state. Curtis came through 2 weeks later. He'd followed Vincent Hayes to Dr. Phillips's office, got photos of Vincent handing the doctor an envelope, got photos of the doctor counting money. They're paying him, Curtis said. Paying him to falsify your medical records, to say you're showing signs of dementia when you're not. Can we prove it? I got video, I got photos, and I got something better. Curtis showed me his phone, a recording, Vincent and Dr. Phillips talking in the parking lot. The old man doesn't suspect a thing, Vincent's voice said clearly. Another month and we'll have enough documentation to move forward. Beverly's ready. Andre's ready. Once we get him committed, they split the estate and you get your cut. My hand shook listening to it, not from fear, from pure rage, but Gloria told me to wait. We need them all together. We need them to make their move. Then we strike. So I waited, played the fool, went to Dr. Phillips for checkups, signed more papers, smiled at my wife, shook Andre's hand at Sunday dinners, all while building my case. Then one night, Beverly came to me with tears in her eyes. Lawrence, she said softly, I need to talk to you about something serious. My heart started pounding. This was it. What's wrong, baby? She took my hands, looked at me with those eyes I'd once loved. I'm worried about you. You've been forgetting things, getting confused. Dr. Phillips called me yesterday. He's concerned. Concerned about what? Your memory, Lawrence. He thinks you might be showing early signs of dementia. I let my face fall. What? No, I'm fine. Baby, I know this is hard, but we need to face this. Dr. Phillips recommends you go to a care facility, just for a little while. They can help you. Make sure you're getting the treatment you need. I don't need a facility. I'm fine. Beverly's face shifted, got harder. Lawrence, you signed the power of attorney. If you're not mentally capable of making decisions, I have to make them for you. There it was, the trap closing. When? I asked quietly. Dr. Phillips has a spot available at Meadowbrook next week. It's a beautiful place. I've already arranged everything. Next week. They were moving next week. I called Gloria that night from Leon's house. They're doing it, I said. They're trying to commit me next week. Gloria's voice was steel. Then we move now, Monday morning. I'm filing for an emergency restraining order and criminal charges. We have everything we need. The recordings, the photos, the forged documents, the bribery, all of it. What happens next? We bring the hammer down, all of it at once. Beverly, Andre, Vincent Hayes, Dr. Phillips, they're all going down. I hung up the phone, looked at Leon. It's happening, I said. My brother nodded. You ready for this? I thought about 43 years of marriage, about trust broken, about my daughter's heart that was about to be shattered, about the life I'd built being almost stolen from me. "Yeah," I said. "I'm ready." Monday morning, everything changed. Monday morning, 7:30 sharp, 2 police cars pulled up to my house. I was already dressed, sitting in the living room, waiting. Beverly was in the kitchen making breakfast, humming to herself. She had no idea her world was about to explode. The doorbell rang. "I'll get it," I called out. I opened the door. Detective Williams stood there with 3 uniformed officers. "Mr. Jackson?" "That's me." "We have a warrant for Beverly Jackson's arrest. Fraud, conspiracy to commit fraud, and elder abuse." Beverly came to the hallway, saw the police. Her face went white. "Lawrence, what's happening?" I looked at my wife, this woman who had slept beside me while plotting to destroy me. "What's happening is you're going to jail, Beverly." "Beverly Jackson," Detective Williams said, stepping forward. "You have the right to remain silent," she started screaming. "Lawrence, what are you doing? Have you lost your mind? This is crazy." The officers put handcuffs on her. She fought, crying, begging. "Lawrence, please, I don't understand. What are they saying I did?" I didn't say a word, just watched them take her away. While Beverly was being arrested, Curtis was across town at Andre's office building. 2 more detectives, same charges. They walked him out in handcuffs in front of all his colleagues. His fancy finance job, his reputation, all of it gone in 60 seconds. Vincent Hayes got picked up at his law office. Dr. Phillips at his clinic. Gloria had coordinated everything. 4 simultaneous arrests. No chance for any of them to warn the others. No chance to destroy evidence. I drove straight to Gloria's office. She was already on the phone with the prosecutor's office. "Lawrence," she said when she hung up, "we got them, all 4 of them. They're being processed now. Arraignment is tomorrow morning." "What happens now?" "Now we wait for them to make bail, and then we watch them fall apart." But I wasn't satisfied yet. "Gloria, I need to know exactly what they were planning. Every detail. I need to understand how deep this went." She pulled out a thick folder. "Curtis has been thorough, very thorough." We sat down and she walked me through it. The plan had started 8 months ago, not 3 months like I thought. 8 months. Beverly and Andre's affair started at a family barbecue last summer. While I was grilling ribs in the backyard, they were sneaking off to my daughter's pool house. "How did Monique not know?" I asked. Gloria shook her head. She was working long hours, traveling for work. Andre told her he was going to the gym on Tuesday nights. Beverly told you she had book club. They were careful. But the affair was just the beginning. Andre worked in wealth management. He knew exactly how much money I had. He'd helped me set up some of my investment accounts years ago. He knew about the real estate, the stocks, the bonds, everything. "He came up with the plan," Gloria said. "He brought in Vincent Hayes. They went to law school together. Vincent had done this before." "What do you mean, done this before?" Gloria's face got dark. "Vincent Hayes has been investigated twice for elder fraud, never charged. He targets wealthy seniors, convinces family members to help him forge documents, gets doctors to falsify medical records, then they drain the estates." My stomach turned. "How many times has he done this?" "We think at least 4, maybe more." "The families usually settle quietly. Don't press charges. Too embarrassed." "Not me." "I know." Gloria showed me the forged documents, power of attorney forms with my signature, medical records showing I'd failed cognitive tests I'd never taken, letters from Dr. Phillips recommending immediate institutionalization. "They had a bed reserved for you at Meadowbrook," Gloria said. "They were going to commit you next Friday, then immediately start liquidating your assets. The house was going to be sold, your investment accounts transferred, everything." "How much were they going to take?" Gloria looked at me. "Everything, Lawrence. Your entire estate. $3.7 million. I sat back in my chair. $3.7 million. My entire life's work. 40 years of building a business, saving, investing, all of it almost gone. Andre's cut was 40%, Gloria continued. Beverly's was 40%. Vincent and Dr. Phillips were splitting the remaining 20%. And Monique? They were going to tell her you needed care, that it was for your own good. She would have believed them. She trusted her mother, trusted her husband. I thought about my daughter, Sweet Monique, working hard as a project manager, no idea her husband was a snake, no idea her mother had betrayed everyone. Does she know yet? I asked. Andre's arrest made the news. She called me an hour ago. She's on her way here. My heart sank. This was the part I'd been dreading. Telling Monique, watching her world shatter. But what happened next, I never saw coming. Monique burst into Gloria's office 30 minutes later. Her face was red, eyes swollen from crying. But she wasn't crying anymore. She was furious. "Daddy," she said. Came straight to me, hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Baby, you didn't know." She pulled back, looked at me with tears streaming. But I should have known. I should have seen it. The signs were there. What signs? Monique sat down, took a shaky breath. Andre's been different for months, secretive, working late, taking calls in the other room. I thought maybe he was planning a surprise for our anniversary. I thought... She broke down again. I held my daughter while she cried, my heart breaking for her. But then Monique said something that made everything worse. "Daddy, there's something else. Something I found last week. I didn't know what it meant until now." She pulled out her phone, showed me text messages. Between Andre and someone named T. The messages were explicit, planning, scheming, but they weren't about me. They were about another target, another elderly person, another estate. "Who is T?" I asked. Gloria looked at the messages. Her face went pale. "That's Terrell Davis. He's a financial advisor at Andre's firm. Lawrence, I think Andre and Vincent have been doing this to other people." The room went silent. "How many others?" I asked quietly. Gloria started typing on her computer, searching. "Give me a minute." We waited. The silence crushing. Monique holding my hand. Both of us trying to process this. Gloria finally looked up. "I found three other cases in the past 2 years, elderly clients of Andre's. All had sudden cognitive decline. All were placed in care facilities, and all had their estates liquidated quickly. And the families? Settled quietly, signed NDAs, took a fraction of what was stolen and walked away." I felt rage building in my chest. "How much total?" Gloria did the math. "Including your estate, we're looking at approximately $11 million stolen over 2 years. $11 million from seniors who'd worked their whole lives, people who trusted their families, people who trusted their financial advisors." "We need to tell the prosecutor," I said. Already calling her. But here's where things got complicated. The prosecutor, Assistant DA Karen Morrison, came to Gloria's office that afternoon. She listened to everything, looked at the evidence, then she said something that made my blood boil. "Mr. Jackson, this is good work, excellent work, but I need to be honest with you. Proving a conspiracy across multiple victims is difficult. The other families won't cooperate. They signed NDAs. They won't testify." "So what are you saying?" "I'm saying we can definitely prosecute them for what they did to you. The fraud, the forgery, the conspiracy. But the other cases, without victim cooperation, we might not be able to include those charges." "That's not right." "I agree, but that's the reality." Gloria leaned forward. "What kind of sentence are we looking at for just Mr. Jackson's case?" Morrison thought about it. "With all the evidence you have, Beverly is looking at 5 to 7 years. Andre the same. Vincent Hayes might get 10 because of the prior investigations. Dr. Phillips will lose his license and probably get 3 years, 5 to 7 years, for trying to steal everything from me. For planning to lock me away like I was crazy. It didn't feel like enough. But then Monique said something that changed everything. "What if I testified?" she asked quietly. We all looked at her. "What do you mean, baby?" I asked. Monique's face was hard, determined. "Andre kept files. At the house, in his home office, financial records, client information. He thought I never went in there. But I did, last week. I was looking for our insurance papers and I found files, names I didn't recognize, numbers that didn't make sense." Morrison sat up straight. "Do you still have access to those files?" "Yes. I have keys to the house. Andre doesn't know I found them." "Monique," Gloria said carefully, "if you bring us those files and they show evidence of other frauds, you could be the key to putting them all away for decades." My daughter looked at me. Daddy, they tried to destroy you. They used me, used our marriage. I want them to pay for everything they've done. I wanted to tell her no, wanted to protect her from this, but I could see it in her eyes. She needed this, needed to do something. Okay, I said, but I'm coming with you. That evening, Monique and I drove to her house, the house she'd shared with Andre, the house that now felt like enemy territory. She unlocked the door. We went straight to Andre's office. It's in here, she said, opening a filing cabinet. Inside were folders, dozens of them, each labeled with a name and a date. I pulled one out, opened it. Inside were financial statements, power of attorney forms, medical records, all the same pattern, all the same scheme. My God, I whispered. How many people did they do this to? Monique was crying again. I lived with him, Daddy. I loved him, and I had no idea he was a monster. We gathered all the files, every single one, loaded them into my car, but as we were leaving, Monique stopped. Wait, there's one more place. She led me to the basement. To a safe hidden behind a bookshelf. I found this last month, she said. I know the combination. Andre uses the same one for everything. She opened it. Inside was cash, stacks of it, and a ledger, handwritten, detailing every fraud, every victim, every dollar stolen, and at the bottom of the ledger was one more name, one more target. My brother, Leon. My heart stopped. They were going to come after Uncle Leon next, Monique said, reading over my shoulder. It says here he's next in line. Once they finished with you. I grabbed the ledger. Felt my hands shaking. They weren't just coming after me. They were planning to work through my whole family, one by one, taking everything. But then I saw something else in the safe, an envelope with my name on it. I opened it. Inside was a letter, handwritten, from Beverly. My dearest Lawrence, it started. If you're reading this, something has gone wrong, but I want you to understand why I did this. You were always so focused on your business, on your legacy. You never saw me, never appreciated me. I gave you the best years of my life. And what did I get? A nice house and church on Sundays. I deserved more. I deserved to live. And when Andre showed me what real passion felt like, I knew I had to take my chance at happiness. The money was just a bonus. A way to secure the future I should have always had. I'm not sorry, Lawrence. I'm not sorry at all. You were so easy to fool, so trusting, so blind. It was almost too easy. I read that letter 3 times. Each time the rage built, but something else built too. Clarity. This wasn't just about the money. This was about her blaming me for her choices, her betrayal, her evil. I folded the letter, put it in my pocket, looked at my daughter. They're going to regret this, I said. Every single second of it. We drove back to Gloria's office, dumped everything on her conference table. The files, the cash, the ledger, the letter. Morrison was still there. Her eyes went wide when she saw it all. Mr. Jackson, she said slowly, this changes everything. With this evidence, we're not looking at 5 to 7 years. We're looking at 20 to life, for all of them. Good, I said, but then Morrison said something else, something that made my stomach drop. There's just one problem. Beverly made bail 2 hours ago. Beverly made bail, $200,000, posted by someone we didn't know, an anonymous bond. By the time we found out, she was already gone from the jail. Where is she? I demanded. Morrison shook her head. We don't know. She's not at your house, not at any relatives. We have her passport flagged, so she can't leave the country, but she's in the wind. Gloria grabbed her phone. I'm calling Curtis. We need to find her before she destroys evidence or runs. But I had a different fear. A deeper fear. She's going after someone, I said quietly. Everyone looked at me. What do you mean? Morrison asked. I thought about that letter. About Beverly's rage, her entitlement, her complete lack of remorse. She's not running. She's planning something. One last move. Monique's face went pale. Oh my God, you don't think she'd try to hurt someone, do you? Before I could answer, my phone rang. It was Leon. Law, my brother's voice was shaky. Beverly just showed up at my house. My heart dropped. Leon, get out of there. Now. She's not alone. She's got someone with her. Some woman I've never seen before. I'm calling the police. Get out. Law, wait. She's saying she wants to talk. Says she has something to tell you. Something important. I was already grabbing my keys. Don't let her in. I'm on my way. I drove to Leon's house with Morrison and 2 police officers following. Monique and Gloria came too. We all needed to see this. When we pulled up, Beverly's car was in the driveway, but so was another car, a black Mercedes I didn't recognize. The police went to the door first, knocked hard. Beverly answered. She looked terrible, hair messy, eyes red, but there was something else in her face, something desperate and wild. "Lawrence," she said when she saw me, "I need to talk to you." "You can talk to me from jail," I said. "Please, just 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking. 5 minutes and you'll understand everything." Morrison stepped forward. "Mrs. Jackson, you're violating your bail conditions by being here." "I don't care," Beverly said. "Lawrence needs to hear this. All of you need to hear this." Against my better judgment, I nodded. 5 minutes. We all went inside Leon's living room. Beverly sat on the couch. Next to her was a woman I'd never seen, older. Maybe 65, well-dressed. Something about her face seemed familiar. "Who is this?" I asked. Beverly took a shaky breath. "This is Patricia Hayes, Vincent's wife." My mind started racing. Why is Vincent's wife here? Patricia spoke for the first time. Her voice was cold, controlled. "Because I'm the one who told Beverly to turn herself in, and I'm the one who's going to help you put my husband away for good." The room went silent. Gloria stepped forward. "Mrs. Hayes, why would you do that?" Patricia's face twisted with anger. "Because Vincent has been doing this for 20 years. Not 2 years. 20 years. He's destroyed dozens of families, stolen millions, and I've known about it the whole time." I felt my chest tighten. "You knew?" "I knew. I benefited from it. We built our life on stolen money, but I'm 65 years old now. And I'm tired of living with this, tired of watching him destroy people." Beverly was crying now. "She came to me yesterday, after I made bail. She told me everything. Everything Vincent never told me. Everything Andre never told me." "What are you talking about?" Monique asked. Patricia pulled out a folder from her bag, handed it to Morrison. "That's a complete record of every fraud Vincent has committed for the past 20 years. Names, dates, amounts, bank accounts, everything, including proof that he's been working with Andre for 5 years, not 2. 5 years. Andre had been scamming seniors for 5 years. But Patricia wasn't done. "There's something else," she said. Her voice got quieter, darker. "Andre wasn't planning to just steal your money, Mr. Jackson." My blood ran cold. "What do you mean?" Patricia looked at Beverly. Nodded. Beverly's face crumpled. "They were going to kill you, Lawrence, once you were in the facility. They were going to kill you." The words hung in the air like poison. "What?" Monique screamed. No, that's not possible." But Patricia pulled out another document. "This is a life insurance policy on Lawrence Jackson. $5 million, taken out 6 months ago. Beneficiary is Beverly Jackson, but there's a clause. If Lawrence dies while institutionalized due to dementia, the payout is doubled. $10 million. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. "Andre had it all planned," Beverly said through sobs. "He was going to make it look like you fell, hit your head, common in dementia patients. No one would question it. We'd get the insurance money on top of the estate, split everything, and disappear." Morrison's face was stone. "Mrs. Jackson, are you saying you knew about this plan?" "No!" Beverly screamed. "I swear I didn't know about the murder part. I knew about the fraud. I knew about stealing the money, but I never knew Andre was planning to kill Lawrence, not until Patricia told me yesterday." I looked at this woman I'd been married to for 43 years. "But you knew about stealing from me. You knew about having me locked up. You knew about destroying my life." "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, I knew, and I went along with it, because I was angry, bitter. I wanted to hurt you the way I felt you'd hurt me." "How did I hurt you, Beverly?" She looked up at me, eyes full of tears and rage. "You never loved me, Lawrence. Not really. You loved your business, your legacy, your reputation. I was just the pretty wife who stood next to you at church, who smiled at your fundraisers, who kept your house and raised your child. But you never saw me, never really saw me." I felt something break in my chest. "So you decided to destroy me?" I decided to finally take something for myself. The room was silent for a long moment. Then Monique spoke. Her voice was ice. You were going to let them kill my father. For money. I didn't know about that part. You knew enough, Monique shouted. You knew enough to be just as guilty. Patricia stood up. I have more. Text messages between Andre and Vincent discussing the murder plan, discussing which drugs to use to make it look natural, discussing timing. It's all in that folder. Morrison was already on her phone. I'm calling for backup. We're arresting Andre again. New charges. Conspiracy to commit murder. But I wasn't listening anymore. I was looking at Beverly, really looking at her. This woman who'd shared my bed, my life, my dreams. This woman who'd stood with me through everything, through building the business, through hard times, through raising our daughter, and she'd been willing to watch me die. Why are you telling us this now? I asked Patricia. Why betray your husband? Patricia's eyes filled with tears. Because Vincent has cancer, stage 4. He has maybe 6 months to live, and he doesn't care anymore. He was going to take this secret to his grave, but I'm the one who has to live with it, and I can't. I can't carry this anymore. She looked at Beverly. I told her yesterday. Told her everything. Gave her a choice. Turn herself in and cooperate, or I'd give everything to the prosecutor anyway. At least if she cooperates, she might get a lighter sentence. Beverly looked at me. I'm sorry, Lawrence. I know you won't believe me. I know sorry doesn't fix anything. But I am sorry. Not for the fraud. I'm still angry about that. Still think you deserved it. But for the murder plan, I never wanted you dead. When Patricia told me, I felt sick. I realized how far things had gone, how evil Andre really was. Morrison stepped forward. Mrs. Jackson, I need you to come with me. You're going to give a full statement. Everything you know. Beverly stood up, looked at Monique. Baby, I know you hate me. I know I've destroyed our family. But I need you to know I always loved you. That was real. That was always real. Monique turned her back. Wouldn't even look at her mother. They took Beverly away. Patricia, too, to give her statement. We all sat there in Leon's living room, stunned, trying to process what we'd just learned. They were going to kill you, Daddy, Monique said quietly. Actually kill you. I pulled my daughter close. But they didn't. We caught them. Gloria was reading through Patricia's files, her face getting darker with every page. Lawrence, this is bigger than we thought. Patricia has evidence on 17 different victims, 17 families destroyed, over $23 million stolen. $23 million, 17 families. How many of them knew about murders? I asked. Gloria kept reading, stopped on a page. Her face went white. Lawrence, according to this, 3 of the previous victims died while institutionalized, all ruled accidental, all had insurance policies just like yours. The room went cold. 3 murders, Morrison said. She'd stayed behind. We're not just looking at fraud anymore. We're looking at a serial killing operation. 3 elderly people, dead, their families thinking it was tragic accidents, never knowing they'd been murdered for insurance money. Andre's going away for life, Morrison said. Vincent, too, if he lives long enough to stand trial. And Beverly? She's looking at 20 to 30 years, even with cooperation. I should have felt satisfied, vindicated, but all I felt was empty. That night, after everything settled, I sat in Leon's living room, just the 2 of us. You okay, Law? My brother asked. No, I said honestly. No, I'm not okay. What they did to you, it's not just what they did to me, it's what Beverly said, about me never seeing her, never loving her right. Leon was quiet for a moment. Was she right? I thought about it, really thought about it. Maybe, I don't know. I worked hard, built something, provided for my family. I thought that was love, but maybe I missed something. Maybe I was so focused on building a legacy that I forgot to build a life. That doesn't excuse what she did. No, it doesn't. Nothing excuses trying to steal from me, and nothing excuses being okay with my murder. But maybe I wasn't the husband I thought I was. Leon put his hand on my shoulder. Don't do that to yourself. Don't let her make you the villain here. You worked hard. You were faithful. You provided. You were a good man. She made her choices, evil choices. I nodded. But something in me had shifted. The trial happened 3 months later. With Beverly and Patricia's cooperation, the case was airtight. Andre got life in prison without parole for conspiracy to commit murder and multiple counts of fraud. Vincent got 25 years, though everyone knew he'd die before serving it all. Dr. Phillips got 10 years and lost his medical license forever. Beverly got 20 years with possibility of parole in 15. The judge said her cooperation saved her from life, but what she'd done was too serious for anything less. I sat in that courtroom and watched her get sentenced, watched her cry, watched them take her away, and I felt nothing. Monique divorced Andre immediately. She moved back home with me for a while. We spent a lot of time talking, healing. She started therapy. I did too. The other families, the 17 victims, started coming forward. With Patricia's evidence, they filed civil suits. Most of the stolen money was recovered. It wasn't everything, but it was something. Justice, even if it came late. 1 year later, I stood in my backyard. The house felt too big now, too empty. I'd been thinking about selling it, starting fresh somewhere new. Monique came out to join me. She'd found a new job, a new apartment. She was healing, slowly. "Daddy," she said, "I've been thinking." "About what, baby?" "About what Mama said, about you never seeing her. Do you think it was true?" I looked at my daughter. "I think I loved your mother the best way I knew how, but maybe it wasn't the way she needed. I'll never know for sure, and now I'll never get the chance to ask her." "Do you miss her?" "I miss who I thought she was, the woman I believed I married, but that woman never existed. She was a mask, a lie. The real Beverly is someone I never knew." Monique nodded. "I feel the same way about Andre." We stood there together, father and daughter, the only family we had left besides Leon. "You know what the worst part is?" I said. "What?" "I won. I got justice. They're all in prison. I got my money back, my freedom, my dignity, everything they tried to take from me. But I still lost." "What did you lose?" 43 years. 43 years of believing in something that wasn't real. 43 years I can never get back." Monique took my hand. "But you're still here, Daddy. You're still alive. They didn't win. They didn't break you. And you saved 17 other families from going through what we went through. That has to mean something." She was right. It did mean something. I'd spent my whole life building a legacy, building a business, building wealth. But in the end, the legacy that mattered wasn't the money or the buildings or the reputation. It was standing up when someone tried to tear me down. It was fighting for what was right. It was protecting my daughter and my brother and all those other families. That was the legacy. Not perfect, not pretty, but real. I looked at Monique. This strong, resilient woman who'd been through hell and come out the other side. "Your mama was wrong about one thing," I said. "What's that?" She said I never saw her. "But I see you, baby girl. I've always seen you. And I always will." Monique smiled, tears in her eyes. "I know, Daddy, I know." We stood there as the sun set. Two survivors, broken but not destroyed, changed but not defeated. The betrayal had cost me everything I thought I had. But it gave me something I'd never fully appreciated before, the truth, and the chance to build something real from the ashes. That's the end of this story. If it touched your heart, please leave a like and subscribe. Have you experienced something similar? Share your story in the comments below.